Hi, Alyssa. This is my response to your first video blog. I thought you did a great job. I thought your topic was well chosen, especially in the cultural environment and the changes that we're seeing at such a high rate at this point in our lives, and that we'll continue to see as we become providers and these people become adults. And we really need to be well versed on their needs and the respectful and culturally sensitive way that we approach healthcare with them. I thought that your personal experience was really interesting. I have never worked in an ER, but I imagine that you see all sorts of things and all sorts of people. And so I think that is something that we need to work on as providers in treating transgender individuals, LGBTQ individuals, and using, like you had said, the correct pronouns for people and really addressing them in the way that they choose to be addressed, in the way that they see themselves and identify as, while also making sure that they receive appropriate, scientifically based, and sensitive care. And so, with your example, the transgender male whose chief complaint was vaginal bleeding, there's obviously a huge workup that needs to go in there, whether it's regular menstruation, whether it's a possible pregnancy, whether it's an STD. You really have to treat it in a stepwise manner. You have to go through the workup and make sure that nothing serious is going on, because although this male patient, transgender male patient, identifies as a male, there still is female anatomy and the complications and possible diseases and risks associated with that vaginal bleeding complaint. And so, while being culturally sensitive and sensitive to this issue, you need to make sure that there isn't an anatomical STD related or otherwise development of a problem there. And I think that it's new ground for a lot of us, relatively, because we didn't see very much of this cultural development prior to maybe the last 10 years, or it wasn't as well studied, or people weren't giving it the time to really work on how we perceive these people and we treat these people in healthcare. And so now that we're seeing it really develop and become such a mainstream topic, we need to make sure that as these people become adults, or as these adults continue to seek healthcare, that we make it a culturally sensitive and respectful relationship. So, like you had said, we're seeing the highest rates of suicide attempts, depression, mental illness in this LGBTQ population. I thought it was interesting that you said there were two components to a suicidal ideation, one being feelings of not belonging, and the other feeling like a burden to others. And together, those really go hand in hand in creating quite the psychiatric perfect storm in these people making suicide plans, attempts, or just feeling like they have nowhere to turn to. And that's not what we want to foster in our relationships with these patients. So, like you had said, maintaining confidentiality, using correct pronouns, practicing interacting with these patients, doing independent research, fostering that trusting relationship, and really providing depression screenings, info at every visit, info on resources, where in the community that they can find a place, and offer them the opportunity to speak their mind and know that they are in a safe place in the healthcare environment, and that you care about them as a person, mind, body, and spirit, and that you can and will work to develop that relationship with them and make sure that they feel as though they can express themselves to you and receive culturally competent care. Thank you again for your post. I thought it was really informational, and like everyone, I still have a lot of work to do in working on creating these relationships with these patients. I honestly have never had a transgender patient, and so I know I have to do a lot of independent research because I know someday I will, and I don't want to mess it up with them. I really want them to feel like they can come to me and know that they'll get competent care, but also respect and sensitivity. So thank you again for your post. And that's it.